Greetings, Black family. Greetings. Y'all know I'm back with another hot video. You know what to do. We ain't even got to say it. You know, just do it because you want to support a brother. We ain't even got to talk about it. You watch this channel. You know I'm at odds with the powers that be. They hate me very much. So listen, Black family, just do your brother a favor and do what we got to do to keep your brother rotating in the algorithm. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know they got it out for me. But Black family, you know how I'm always advising our Black women that we're nothing but tools for white supremacists. They brought us to this country to help them build heaven right here on earth. And we must suffer all the hell according to them. I try to tell my Black women that white supremacy is only here to use her as a tool against the rise of the Black man. And that's a big fear for the darker people of the planet to get in position to be back on top of civilization. No Caucasian wants to see that episode, Fear of a Black Planet. Our Black women have been brainwashed that somehow this white man that has been her killer, her oppressor, her rapist for 400 years, all of a sudden, he cares about the Black woman. He only needs the Black woman to keep the Black male in check. She knows that the Black man is the white man's natural born enemy. But yet, the program that the white man set forth, she's going to follow it to the ladder. Black man, you tell that Black woman that we're not having Christmas for 7 years. We're going to stack money to buy land so we can create economy. She's going to poke her lip out. She's going to look at you crazy. Because her man deep down inside is a white man named Jesus. Yes, the Jesus factor. Black family, I'm going to talk about a case out of Tacoma, Washington. This case occurred about 3 years ago, approximately July 18th, 2021. I want to speak on it because a sister named Denise Smith, 41 years old, was murdered by a race soldier downtown Tacoma, Washington. This guy was sentenced to 20 years. Patrick Philip Burns, at the time he was 26. He should be 29 years old right now. He only got 20 years. And what he did to this sister, it was a hate crime. But he wasn't charged with a hate crime. May 10th, 2024, he was sentenced to only 20 years. So that means he got 17 years left because he been gone, locked up for 3 years. So he's going to get jail time credit. And what good time? He may have good time. I don't know how the feds That's a Commonwealth state. So I don't know if he got to do 90% of his time, or he can get out on good time with good behavior. I don't know the extent, but he only got 20 years. He got 20 years for killing our sister. He have a possibility of getting out. He have a possibility to get out of prison. How is it that he only get 20 years, black woman? All of a sudden, he start promoting interracial dating, and you see all these sisters with these white men on their arm, and those relationships, majority of them are terrible. They don't tell nobody. The sisters be quiet. They still call them nigga. Talk bad about them. Oh yes, these relationships ain't nothing but slave plantation relationships. Y'all having slave plantation sex. You feel me? So an active duty U.S. Army Ranger in July 18th, 2021 was arrested for brutally attacking a black woman identified as a 41-year-old female who worked as a security guard, Denise Smith. He beat this sister savagely. She died from fatal injuries when she was beat with a closed fist by this crazed race soldier. And I'm not buying this race soldier has some mental issues. Check this out. On that same day, Patrick Burns, 23-year-old white racist white male of active duty USA Army Ranger, was in a bar fight out drinking with his friends. After he left the bar, he tries to go into a Tacoma, Washington building, downtown building, where the sister was working security. See, she observed him. She observed him being in a drunken state. He wants to try to come into this building. She denied entrance. But with the door open, he grabbed his sister out by her hair, commenced to beat her like a man, kicking her, punching her, taking her security keys, trying to put her eyes out, gorge her eyes out. Then after that, he choked her out to death until she stopped breathing. How is it he only get 20 years for killing you, black woman? How did he only get 20 years for killing our sister, 41-year-old young black female, 41 years old, take her life like that? This is a travesty. Black life is not that important. If a black man would have beat a white female, Caucasian, or any other race to that extent, we wouldn't have got no 20 years. They'd have threw the key away on a black man. I don't care if it's not a capital murder state. This guy deserved the death penalty. And since Washington don't have a death penalty, he should get life in prison for taking his sister's life How in the hell he's going to see the day of light? This is a travesty. This is a hate crime. He beat our sister, in that manner. How is it not a hate crime? And I'm not buying that he was in the bar and he got in a fight and he got hit in his head and that, it hindered his capacity to think, with a clear mind. I'm not going with that. I'm not buying his mental state was impaired by a punch to his head in a bar fight. This race soldier went into that office building where our sister Denise worked in security with the intent to beat and murder her because she was of African descent. She was a black woman. He grabbed her, beat her for 10 minutes, and tried to gorge her eyes out with keys. Y'all know I always gotta, show y'all a clip. Check this one out.
Judge says 26-year-old Patrick Byrne is a danger to the community and set his bail at $2 million. The U.S. Army soldier faces 5 felony charges, including murder, for the brutal attack of 41-year-old Denise Nicole Smith. Today, Byrne's attorney says he is pleading not guilty on all 5 counts. Investigators say a drunken Byrne severely beat Smith while she was working as a security guard in Tacoma, trying to stop him from entering a building Sunday morning. Security cameras captured the moments before, during, and after the attack. Court documents say he barged his way past Smith into the building she was patrolling. When she grabbed Byrne by the shirt trying to stop him, the court documents say that's when he began beating her for 8 to 10 minutes. Prosecutors say Byrne grabbed Smith by her braids and dragged her like a rag doll while she was fighting for her life. The documents say Byrne choked Smith until her body went limp. When coworkers came in that morning to switch shifts, they found her bleeding and unresponsive on the ground. Investigators say she was practically unrecognizable when she was pronounced dead on the scene. Detectives say Byrne told them he was drinking and doesn't remember anything except waking up in a hospital.
But the absolute rage that was that the defendant showed in this incident, I think puts the community at risk, and I think a $2 million bail would be appropriate.
JBLM confirms it is aware of Byrne's arrest. Today, prosecutors say the military informed them that it is separating from Byrne. In a statement, JBLM says U.S. Army Special Operations Command, as well as the leadership at Joint Base Lewis McChord, are cooperating fully with local law enforcement agencies in the ongoing investigation. Again, Byrne has 5 felony charges against him, including murder, burglary, and kidnapping.
I hope he catch hell where he's going. Only problem is, I won't be able to see it.
The family of 41-year-old Denise Smith gathered in a Pierce County courtroom this afternoon to learn the fate of her murderer, 29-year-old Army Ranger Specialist Patrick Byrne. Byrne pleaded guilty to first-degree murder for beating and choking Smith to death in July of 2021. Smith was working as a security guard at a downtown building along 9th Street. She was only on the job for 2 days. In court, Smith's loved ones talked about who she was and how much their lives have changed since her death.
Denise was so kind-hearted and had a smile that could light up a room. And her laugh was contagious. You couldn't do anything but be happy around her. You took that away from us.
Court documents say Byrne has a history of multiple serious head injuries. During the sentencing, Byrne's lawyer pointed to that medical history as a possible reason for his actions. However, the judge highlighted the other choices Byrne made that night.
He was out with his friends or fellow Rangers, basically getting intoxicated to the point where they were creating disturbances. And that was voluntary.
In the end, Byrne was sentenced to 20 years in prison, the lowest standard amount for the charge of first-degree murder.
Did any of the politicians in Washington speak out against this murder travesty of a sister being taken 41 years old, snuffed out for no apparent reason by somebody from the armed forces. This guy was an active duty armed forces personnel, and he murders one of ours. Did Joe Biden make any type of speeches? Because Joe Biden was in office in 2021. Did Joe Biden say anything? Did he send his condolence to the family? No, he didn't. No one spoke out against this race soldier who bludgeoningly beat this sister. Where was the people at? How did he get away with beating his sister? I wonder, is Tacoma, Washington at that time of night in this particular area, does racist things go on just in this particular area? Because you got some parts of certain cities that you go in particular areas, where all whites be at, they ain't going to say nothing. They're not going to say anything when one of their own is stumping one of ours out. You feel what I'm saying? Where was the people at who watched this white man beat her for 10 minutes? That's suspicious. Very suspicious. And he choked her out until her body became lifeless. Wow. Hey, what y'all think? Can y'all tell me what y'all think below? Leave comments below and let me know if you think this race soldier deserved more than 20 years. They don't have a death penalty in Washington, right? But they could have threw the key away, gave him a life sentence. He took her life. He need his life to be taken. Give him a life sentence. I only get 20 years. Leave comments below. Peace and black power.